There's something about the full moon that always seems to catch your attention, but this January, there's a unique energy surrounding it. You might have felt the tension building, a subtle unease that you can't quite explain. It's more than just the light casting shadows on your walls. This moon is a cosmic mirror, reflecting truths about yourself that you've been ignoring. Have you noticed that things have felt a little different lately, as if the universe is nudging you to stop and pay attention? It's not a coincidence it's this full moon. It's not just any celestial event. It's a signal, a spiritual awakening, waiting for you to embrace it. During this full moon, you might find yourself feeling a need for solitude. Conversations may seem louder, the world more overwhelming. It's like the energy around you is too much to handle. Don't dismiss it as burnout or being off. This is the full moon's influence, pushing you to confront the truth. It's not about running from people or situations. It's about aligning yourself with the energy that's asking you to tune in. The isolation you feel is the moon's way of making you pause and reflect on what's inside the parts of yourself you've buried under distractions. Letting go of the noise can bring clarity and insight. This isn't just about the moon's pull on the tides or its light in the sky, it's deeper than that. Have you ever felt like the moon is watching you? This full moon brings the veil between our world and the spiritual realm closer. And that means one thing: spiritual forces are near. Maybe you've noticed odd things happening around you, unexplained sensations, or animals behaving strangely. These aren't just coincidences. The shadowy figures you might sense are part of this powerful energy. If you're feeling watched, it's not a cause for fear, but an invitation to reconnect with something greater than yourself. The universe is waiting for you to notice. Let's talk about those strange moments where the world around you just doesn't seem right. Your electronics might glitch, or your pets might react to things you can't see. You might feel a sudden chill or experience waves of dizziness for no apparent reason. The full moon is amplifying repressed emotions, stirring up what's been hidden. These sensations are clues that the energy surrounding you is trying to open a new door. You can't ignore it any longer. Something bigger is happening, and this is your chance to align with that energy. The moon isn't just lighting up the night, it's lighting up your soul. The truth is, the full moon in January isn't just an event, it's a turning point. It's an awakening, not just for the world around you, but for personal growth. Have you felt that growing sense of urgency, as if something deep inside you is ready to shift? It's this moon's energy pulling at you, and you're not the only one feeling it. Others are being affected too, in unexpected ways. People might act out, revealing truths they've kept hidden, and you might do the same. This moon is here to break down the walls, revealing what's been buried in the depths. Embrace it. The transformation you're about to go through will be life-changing. As the full moon rises, it brings with it a powerful invitation to reflect inwardly. Have you ever noticed how, during a full moon, certain feelings or memories rise to the surface? It's as if the moon acts as a cosmic mirror, reflecting aspects of ourselves that we may have overlooked or hidden away. This isn't about magical forces. It's a chance to simply pause and take stock of where we are. Often, it's in these quiet moments that we begin to understand what's truly important to us and what we might have been avoiding for too long. This is the spiritual awakening that many experience, a gentle nudge to turn inward. You might feel an increased sense of restlessness or a desire to retreat during this time. Conversations may feel overwhelming, and emotions can run higher than usual, but this is the moon's influence, gently urging you to realign with your true self. It's not about avoiding others, it's about making space for self-reflection. The moon doesn't just bring light, it brings clarity. It asks you to take a deeper look at the things that have been suppressed: old fears, unresolved conflicts, or goals you've been too afraid to pursue. This isn't about discomfort. It's an invitation to heal and grow. As you reflect, you may notice shifts in the energy around you. People might seem more open, or even more vulnerable than usual. This happens because the moon amplifies emotions and energy. It isn't about causing chaos, but about revealing what lies beneath the surface. The truth often emerges during times of heightened energy, and it's natural for people to act in unexpected ways, sharing more than they normally would, or reacting with more intensity. These moments can be disorienting, but they are also an opportunity to better understand both yourself and others. The energy of the moon is working in subtle ways to bring you closer to the truth. You might experience feelings of disconnection because you're alone, but because you're becoming more attuned to what's really important. The moon isn't forcing you to shut people out. It's guiding you to understand where your energy truly belongs. This is the moon's way of helping you step away from distractions and align with what your soul needs. It's about understanding your inner world more deeply, even if that means sitting in the discomfort of uncertainty for a while. As you begin to tune into this energy, you'll feel more at peace with the process of self-discovery. The full moon's light can feel like a transformative force, but it's not about dramatic changes, it's about gradual shifts. This time allows you to embrace the process of letting go, releasing the weight of things that no longer serve your true path. Maybe it's a belief, an old habit, or even a relationship. The full moon calls you to reflect on what you're holding on to and ask whether it's truly part of who you are now. As you begin to let go, you'll feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned with the person you are becoming. This transformation may not happen overnight, but it starts with the small steps you take today. During the full moon, there's a palpable shift in the energy around us. For some, this might feel like an invitation to reflect, and for others, a sense of connection with something greater. Have you ever felt an inexplicable pull to quiet spaces, or experienced moments where everything just seems to align? The spiritual world becomes closer. And this isn't about fantasy, it's about tuning into the subtle energies that surround us. Whether it's through dreams, intuition, or that deep sense of knowing, the full moon encourages us to be more aware of what's beyond the physical world. You might start noticing that your intuition feels sharper during this time. Have you ever been in a room and suddenly had the sense that you weren't alone? Or perhaps you felt drawn to a particular place or person, even though there was no logical explanation for it. These subtle spiritual forces are more active, and they might be trying to guide you, show you a clearer path. Whether through a sense of calm, a strange sensation, or a vivid dream, the energy of the full moon is bringing you closer to that higher frequency. It's an invitation to listen to what's unspoken, to pay attention to your gut feelings. It's common for people to experience feelings of being watched or hearing whispers when no one is around. These might not be signs of something ominous, but rather an invitation from benevolent forces, guides, or ancestors who are trying to offer wisdom or comfort. It's important to trust your instincts in these moments. If you feel a certain chill or experience a sudden shift in energy, take a moment to pause. Reflect on what's happening around you, and consider whether there's a deeper message being offered. The spiritual world often communicates in ways we don't expect, but the messages are real. During this period, dreams may become more vivid, and you might wake up with a feeling that something has changed. Have you ever had a dream so clear and powerful that it stayed with you throughout the day? This is the moon's energy at work, bringing repressed emotions and hidden truths to the surface. The veil between worlds is thinner now, and the messages that come through during this time can have a significant impact. It's not about seeking answers from others. It's about finding the truth within yourself. Listen carefully, this may be the moment you've been waiting for. In the days surrounding the full moon, it's common to feel a little more connected to the spiritual realm, whether through signs, synchronicities, or shifts in your emotional state. The full moon encourages you to open your mind and heart to these experiences. It's an opportunity to realign with your true path, guided by the subtle forces around you. This isn't something that can be forced. It's a gentle awakening, a process of tuning into a deeper rhythm. By embracing this, you may begin to understand that you're never truly alone. You're always guided, always supported, especially during moments like these. As the full moon rises, you may start noticing strange occurrences around you. Maybe it's a sudden chill, or an inexplicable feeling of unease. Ever felt like something shifted in the air, but couldn't quite pinpoint what it was? These unexplained sensations aren't just coincidences, they're part of the moon's energy at work. The full moon amplifies everything, from emotions to subtle physical sensations. If you're feeling a bit more sensitive than usual, it's not your imagination. It's the pull of the moon, drawing attention to the unseen energies that often go unnoticed in our daily lives. You may also experience odd physical sensations, like dizziness or an unusual pressure on your chest. These shifts in energy are more common during this time, as the full moon works to awaken parts of your being that have been dormant. It's as though the full moon is trying to break through the boundaries we set up in our lives. These sensations are your body's way of reacting to a powerful force, signaling that something within you is ready to be released or addressed. It's not about fear, it's a sign that you're in tune with something much bigger than yourself. Have you ever been in a room and felt like someone was watching you, even though no one was there? Or perhaps you've noticed your pet staring at something invisible, or an object suddenly moving without explanation. These experiences might be unsettling, but they're part of how the moon's energy interacts with the spiritual forces around us. Animals, in particular, are more sensitive to these shifts. Their behavior can be a reminder that there's more happening around us than what we can see or understand. The spiritual world often makes itself known during this time, in subtle, sometimes eerie ways. For some, the full moon can trigger intense emotional reactions, moments of unexpected sadness, bursts of anger, or sudden clarity on past issues. Have you noticed people around you acting out of character? Or maybe even yourself? The full moon doesn't just illuminate the night, it shines a light on our inner world. It stirs up feelings and memories that we might not be ready to face. But this is all part of the energy activation process. It's a time to confront what has been buried within us, to understand and release those emotions, and move toward healing. It's easy to dismiss these sensations as mere coincidence, but when you experience multiple strange occurrences around the full moon, you'll start to recognize a pattern. This is the moon's energy, calling you to reflect and let go of what no longer serves you. The heightened sensitivity you're experiencing isn't just a random event, it's a part of the transformation happening within you. Pay attention to the signs around you, whether it's a sudden shift in mood, strange encounters, or physical sensations. This is your opportunity to liberate yourself from the weight of the past and step into the fullness of who you are becoming. As the full moon rises, its energy envelops everything around us. Have you ever noticed how emotions feel amplified during this time? People may seem more sensitive or reactive, and you may find yourself feeling things more deeply. This is not by accident. It's the moon's pull on our energy, stirring up everything that's been hidden beneath the surface. The moon doesn't just affect the tides, it activates something within us, making us more aware of our emotional landscape. If you've felt unusually connected to your emotions lately, this is the full moon working its magic, urging you to confront what lies beneath. When the full moon's energy is at its peak, everything seems to shift. It's as if the world becomes more alive, but also more challenging. Have you noticed people behaving out of character or experiencing strange mood swings? It's not just you, these reactions are part of the consequence of the moon's influence. The energy of the moon stirs up emotions, both in us and in others, pushing us to face what we've been avoiding. You might find yourself saying things you didn't mean or acting impulsively. It's as though the full moon is amplifying your inner world, making it harder to hide the truths you've been keeping from yourself. The full moon's energy can also cause unusual physical reactions. You might feel inexplicably tired or experience sudden bursts of energy that seem to come out of nowhere. Have you ever felt a strange charge in your body or a sudden rush of adrenaline. This is your body's response to the full moon's power. It's not just about what happens on the surface. The full moon has a way of aligning us with our deeper self. These physical sensations are the consequences of the moon's call to action. It's asking you to listen, to pay attention, and to embrace the changes it's bringing into your life. You may also notice an increase in intuitive sensations, where your gut feeling is more acute than usual. Have you experienced moments when you just knew something before it happened? Or perhaps you felt drawn to certain people or situations with a sense of urgency. This is the moon's energy guiding you toward clarity. These spiritual forces are working in the background, helping you see things that you might have missed in your everyday life. Trust these feelings, they're not random. The full moon is urging you to pay attention to what your intuition is telling you. As the energy of the full moon settles, you'll notice a shift. The emotional intensity you've felt will either transform into clarity or dissipate entirely. This is the liberation that the full moon offers. After the storm of emotions and physical sensations, you'll feel more aligned with who you truly are. The consequences of the full moon's energy are meant to help you shed what no longer serves you and step into a new phase of growth. By embracing the challenges it brings, you'll feel a deeper sense of personal growth and transformation, ready to embrace the next chapter with a clearer vision of your path ahead. The full moon isn't just a beautiful sight in the sky, it carries a profound energy that has the power to spark a spiritual awakening within you. Have you ever felt like something was shifting inside? A deep sense that you're being called to something more? That's the moon's influence. During this phase, emotions come to the surface, and you're pushed to reflect on the deeper meaning of your life. It's a chance to step out of the mundane and tune into the spiritual forces guiding you. You may feel an increased sense of purpose, a whisper that you're aligned with something greater than yourself. Have you noticed your thoughts becoming more introspective during the full moon? You might find yourself reflecting on past choices, relationships, or even your personal path in life. This is the full moon activating your inner compass. It's not just about understanding what you've been through, it's about seeing the bigger picture. The moon's energy draws your attention to the areas of your life that are in need of realignment. It's as though the full moon is gently nudging you to make the adjustments necessary to live more in tune with your true self. During this time, it's common to feel a sudden shift in perspective. Old habits, beliefs, and fears may begin to seem less important or less convincing. The moon's energy can help confront the truth and clear away the things that no longer serve you. Think about a time when you've let go of something, whether it was a toxic relationship, an outdated belief, or a career that no longer fits. That process, while difficult, was also a spiritual awakening. The full moon offers you the opportunity to take that step again, this time with more clarity and confidence. This isn't just a passive experience. The full moon calls for action. As the energies shift, you might feel an urge to make changes, whether that's leaving behind a job, reaching out to someone you've been avoiding, or stepping into a new spiritual practice. These actions, though small, have the power to propel you forward into a transformation that aligns you more closely with your true purpose. The spiritual awakening the moon offers is not about drastic changes, but about recognizing what has been within you all along, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed. The full moon's energy helps you let go of the things you've outgrown and prepares you for what lies ahead. As you move through this process, you'll feel a sense of liberation and release. It's as if the universe is making space for something new to come into your life. Have you ever experienced a shift like this before? It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's also empowering. The moon is asking you to trust in your own growth, to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The spiritual awakening that occurs during this phase is just the beginning of a deeper journey into your most authentic self. As the full moon illuminates the sky, it also illuminates the parts of ourselves we often try to avoid. This can be a difficult experience because the truth isn't always easy to face. Have you ever felt a sudden rush of clarity, only to realize something uncomfortable about your life or choices. This is the moon's energy at work, shining a light on the things you've kept hidden from yourself. Whether it's a fear, an unresolved issue, or a truth you've been avoiding, this is the moment to face it head-on. The moon invites you to look at your life honestly and assess what needs to change. It's normal to feel resistance during this process. Facing the truth can bring up emotions we've long buried. Have you ever felt a wave of anger or sadness suddenly arise without warning? It's the energy of the full moon bringing these repressed emotions to the surface. These feelings aren't there to overwhelm you, they're there to help you understand what's holding you back. The spiritual forces at play during this time want you to confront these truths, because only then can you begin to liberate yourself from them. Don't shy away from these emotions. Instead, allow them to guide you toward healing. Facing the truth can also lead to tough decisions. You might be called to let go of things, people, or habits that no longer align with who you are becoming. Think of it like cleaning out a closet full of outdated clothes. You're clearing the space for something new. It may feel uncomfortable, but it's the only way to make room for your personal growth. The shadowy figures that linger in our past, whether they're old fears or regrets, only hold power over us as long as we ignore them. By facing them, we take away their control and transform our energy. The process of self-reflection during the full moon can lead to powerful insights. Have you ever had a moment where everything suddenly clicked into place, and you realized that something you've been avoiding was the key to your growth? These moments are the gifts of the full moon's energy. It doesn't just bring discomfort, it brings clarity. When you allow yourself to face the truth, you gain the wisdom needed to make informed decisions. This clarity helps you see beyond the surface, allowing you to navigate your life with a deeper understanding of who you are and what you need. As you confront your inner truth, remember that it's a process, one that requires patience and courage. The full moon's energy doesn't offer instant transformation. Instead, it gives you the tools to begin the journey toward change. Embracing the truth can be liberating, even if it feels daunting at first. Once you start facing these truths, you'll realize that you are more than capable of navigating the challenges ahead. The full moon is encouraging you to take this step, not with fear, but with the strength to embrace the transformation it brings. As the full moon reaches its peak, it's more than just a celestial event, it's an opportunity for transformation and liberation. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a cycle, unable to move forward, no matter how hard you tried? The full moon's energy has the power to break those cycles, offering you a chance to let go of old patterns, beliefs, and habits. This is your chance to free yourself from whatever has been holding you back. Whether it's an outdated way of thinking, a toxic relationship, or a fear you've carried for years, the full moon invites you to release it all. Letting go can be a difficult process, especially when you've spent so much time holding on to something that no longer serves you. But think about it, how many times have you let go of something that ended up making space for something better? The energy activation of the full moon accelerates this process. It makes it clearer than ever that it's time for a change. You might find yourself naturally shedding layers of your past, feeling lighter and freer with every step you take. This is the energy of liberation, guiding you toward a new chapter in your life. Embracing this change isn't always easy. There's often a moment of discomfort, a feeling that you're stepping into the unknown. But that's where true personal growth happens. Think about the last time you faced something difficult and came out stronger. The full moon's energy asks you to be courageous, to trust that the changes you're making will bring you closer to the life you've always wanted. You might feel a push to move forward in ways you never thought possible, whether it's starting a new project, pursuing a new relationship, or simply embracing a new mindset. Change, especially of this magnitude, is rarely instantaneous. It's a journey, and the full moon acts as a guide. This time is about understanding that liberation isn't about being free from discomfort. It's about stepping into the authenticity of who you really are. As you move through this phase, you'll begin to notice small shifts in how you view yourself and the world. You might feel more at peace with who you are, more aligned with your true purpose. The moon's energy gives you the power to not only change your circumstances, but to transform your inner world as well. This process of liberation is not just about shedding the old, it's also about embracing the new. As you let go of what no longer serves you, you make room for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences. The full moon's energy is like a cleansing force, washing away the remnants of the past and making way for your next chapter. Don't be afraid to embrace the unknown. The changes you're undergoing are leading you to a higher alignment with your true self, and the transformation will be worth every step. Trust the journey, and trust the process. The full moon is here to guide you. As the full moon reaches its peak, you may feel the weight of the past pressing harder on you. This moment is the final challenge, a moment to ask yourself, what are you still holding on to that's preventing you from moving forward? It's easy to get stuck in old patterns, old emotions, or familiar situations, but the full moon asks you to let go of these attachments. It's time to face what you've been avoiding and embrace the freedom that comes with releasing what no longer serves you. Have you ever felt the relief that comes from letting go? That's what the full moon offers. Letting go isn't always simple. It's not just about saying goodbye to things, it's about acknowledging the emotional and mental attachments that keep you stuck. Maybe it's an old grudge, a belief about yourself, or a fear of change. These things can feel so familiar, so ingrained, that it seems impossible to let them go. But the full moon's energy brings the clarity needed to see these attachments for what they really are, weights you no longer need to carry. By releasing them, you create space for growth and renewal. Consider this: how often do you hold on to something because you feel it defines you, even when it no longer serves your highest good? This could be a relationship, a job, or a personal belief. The full moon is asking you to examine your attachments and ask whether they're truly helping you evolve. When you let go of what no longer fits, you free yourself to step into a life that is more aligned with your true self. This is the power of the full moon, helping you shed the old, so you can move forward with clarity and purpose. This isn't just about releasing the past, it's about moving into the future with courage and confidence. Have you ever held back from something because of fear or doubt? The full moon's energy pushes you to step out of your comfort zone, to face those fears head on. It's time to trust that letting go will not only bring you peace, but will also open the door to new opportunities and experiences. It's a reminder that you can't move forward until you release what's holding you back. The moon gives you the courage to take that step, no matter how daunting it might seem. The final challenge is about embracing liberation, trusting that when you let go, you'll find what you've been seeking all along. It's not about losing something. It's about gaining the freedom to move forward, to pursue your true purpose, and to welcome new beginnings. The full moon offers you the gift of transformation, a chance to align with your highest potential. As you release the old, you'll find yourself more grounded, more centered, and more ready than ever to face whatever comes next on your journey. Trust the process and know that the best is yet to come. As the full moon's energy begins to wane, you might start to feel a sense of clarity and calm. This period isn't just about transformation, it's about preparation for what's next. The changes you've faced, the emotions you've processed, and the decisions you've made have all paved the way for a new chapter. The full moon has illuminated the areas of your life that need attention, but now it's time to integrate what you've learned. This is a time to reflect on your growth, embrace the shifts, and recognize how far you've come. The transformation that the full moon brings isn't instantaneous. It's a gradual process, one that requires patience and understanding. You've faced uncomfortable truths, let go of old attachments, and allowed yourself to grow. Now, the question becomes, how do you move forward with this newfound awareness? The final transformation isn't about rushing to change everything, it's about honoring the journey you've been on and trusting that the shifts you've made will continue to unfold naturally. Take time to let everything settle. knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. In moments of reflection, consider the lessons you've learned. What parts of your life have transformed? How do you feel now, compared to how you felt before this powerful cycle? The full moon's energy gives you the opportunity to realign with your deepest desires, to ask yourself what you truly want moving forward. The spiritual awakening you've experienced isn't a one-time event, it's the beginning of a deeper, more aligned journey. The full moon has provided the space for change, and now it's up to you to continue that process with intention and clarity. With each transformation comes the opportunity to make conscious decisions. The spiritual forces at play during the full moon have nudged you toward growth, but it's up to you to take action. Have you noticed new possibilities opening up, or old patterns becoming less significant? This is the moment to embrace the next step. The full moon has cleared the path, but it's still your choice how to walk it. Embrace the changes with confidence, knowing that you're aligned with the person you always meant to be. As you move forward, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. The full moon's energy doesn't just bring about transformation, it prepares you for what's ahead. You've been given the gift of clarity, the opportunity to shed what no longer serves you, and the courage to embrace new beginnings. Now, trust in the process. The final transformation is not an end, it's a continuous unfolding. Let the full moon's energy guide you toward even greater personal growth, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to your highest potential.